Welcome back, everybody, back with a new video. Today we're going to be doing the power tier list. Now, let's get right into it. Now, disclaimer, I gotta say this right off the bat. So, the units in good, just not top 10. The reason I don't put them in A rank or S tier is because I leave the A tier and S tier mainly just specifically for the top 10. Just because they're not in A or S does not mean they're not good. All these units down here are very good and usable still to this day. Some of them are older, some of them are newer, right? They are still good. Just because I didn't put them in S tier or A tier does not mean they're not S tier or A tier. I just don't put them up there. That's just because I'm saving the S tier and A tier specifically just for the top 10. Now, another disclaimer. All my tier lists are based off of IT, Epic Raids, and GQ. Those are the main 3 game modes you will be playing. I'm not going to be counting PvE or IZ just because PvE, every single unit that comes out nowadays can clear PvE content no problem. So just farm story mode and all that good stuff, right? Same thing with Senkaimon. Senkaimon is a little bit different because obviously the Nullify does help, right? But we'll talk about that whenever a unit has it. So, continue on. Not talking about PvE because every single unit can clear PvE content. And I'm not going to be talking about IZ because when it comes to IZ, more than likely you're going to either be using the pot unit to carry, or you're going to be more than likely using your strongest unit to carry. That's usually how it is. That's the whole reason all my tier lists are based off of GQ, Epic Raids, and IT. Those main 3 game modes, if you're not farming PvE content, right, more than likely you're farming one of those 3. So therefore, all my tier lists are based off of this. I do have people question, some things I do put in what order, but you have to remember, all my tier lists so far, I haven't said it, but I kind of forgot to mention it, but all my tier lists are based off of GQ, Epic Raids, and IT, the main three things. So gotta say that right off the bat just so people know. I got a lot of comments saying why this, why that. It's mainly because I'm looking at 3 game modes, the 3 main game modes you are currently farming in the game. So let's go look at it. So let's start with number 10. Number 10 is going to be the Machine Society Yoda. She has burn and everything. She does have a boost. Overall, kit-wise, she has a 1200 SA1, a 960 boost, very good, just like that Ichigo, and then she has a full screen beyond full screen SA3, and then a special. It's just a normal special. 20% Berserker, 20% Bruiser, debil 5 seconds, Devastation 40%, Enhancer 10 seconds, Frenzy +1, Guard Break, Havoc 20%, and she does have Sprinter +1. But she has multiple flashes because she is a Yoda. So if you do not know, a Yoda and a Soifon have multiple flash steps. So overall, she's very good. But I do think she is 10th place mainly because of the boost. Now with her having the boost, that skill is going to take much longer to come back normally to a normal 60, right? It is going to have a long cooldown. That's why I do think she's 10th place, and she is also immune to poison, which is very nice when they do have poison on the floor in terms of IT. In terms of GQ, you will be using Yoda in GQ only if you are doing nuke runs. Otherwise, in terms of GQ, you're not really going to be using it, right? In terms of Epic Rage, she'll be a good booster. And then in terms of IT, she'll be pretty damn good for whenever Hollow IT is out. Or if you have her 5-5, regardless, right? Any unit 5-5 is going to be amazing in IT. So overall, though, she's great. The only thing that really holds her back is going to be the SA2, a little bit long cooldown, and the SA1 just being a 1200 by 1200. So could have been much better, but I do think she is still worthy of the top 10. Next, number 9 is going to be Spirit Society Byakuya. Now, he has freeze on everything. He has the perfect kit. Keep in mind, this perfect kit you're gonna see a lot throughout this video. That's how it is, right? There's a reason why it's the top 10. So 3K beam, 960, beyond full screen. Beautiful kit, freeze on everything. He is a Soul Ripper killer, so he has a Berserker, Bruiser, Havoc 20%, Poison Duration 100%, same thing as Yoda. The build 5 seconds, Devastation 40%, Frenzy +1, Sprinter +1. So as you can see, Yoda and him both have immunity to poison, both of them, literally. The only difference is Byakuya has freeze, which is a much better stats element compared to burn, and he has a better SA1 compared to Yoda, where he has a 3K beam, and she has the 1200 by 1200. And then on top of that, she has the long cooldown, her SA2, which does hold her back in my opinion. Yes, she has Guard Break and more flash steps, but that's really about it in my opinion, compared to a better strong attack SA, a better SA1, and just having freeze. Freeze is much valuable when it comes to IT. It's just much better. Now in terms of Epic Raids, they're going to be performing the same, but Yoda does have a boost. In terms of GQ though, you could use him in Soul Ripper Week if you really want to. But let's continue on. That's pretty much Byakuya in a nutshell. Good kit, freeze and everything. Freeze is more valuable than burn, and the better SA1. That's just how it is, right? So, number 8, it is going to be Lille Barro. Now you can be questioning, oh, Lille Barro, perfect. Yeah, yes, I know he has a perfect kit. But, we're talking epic grades, GQ, and IT. Unless you have a 5-5 Lille Barro. Not everyone has it, right? Because he rarely ever comes out. And then obviously we have the hiatus. So, let's talk about him. 40% Berserker, 40% Bruiser, Devastation 60%, Frenzy +1, Guard Break, Havoc, Hidden Enemy Chance 100%. Very, very good for PvE content, right? But we're not talking about PvE content, so. He's good. He's very, very good. Don't get me wrong. He has one of the best kits in the game. Probably going to be the best power unit in terms of PvE content if you want to use him. So, kit-wise, 3KB, 960 beyond full screen. That's literally in a nutshell, right? Overall, perfect unit. In terms of IT, he'll be phenomenal. He does not have any stats elements, but he does have the 40% Berserker with the 60% Devastation, and he has Guard Break. So literally all his damage is going to be going at full force, not just going to be stopping him. So overall, great unit, great kit, perfect for PvE content. But like I said before in the beginning, we are not talking about PvE content. We are talking about GQ, epic grades, and IT. So overall, good unit. You can use him in GQ as well. Same thing as Soul Reaper. One killer, so you can use him 1 week of Soul Reaper. And then epic grades, same thing. It's just like Byakuya. Good, they're good, right? So next, let's talk about Shinji. Number 5. Or number 6. Yeah, number 6. Wait, number 7. Oh my goodness. Yeah, number 7. So number 7 is going to be Shinji Hirako. Bankai Shinji. Beautiful. Let's continue on. So he has a 20% Berserker, 20% Bruiser, 20% Havoc, damage to confuse enemies 40%, and he has a party attribute captain strong attack damage buff 20%. So he was the first unit, if I'm not mistaken, with this specific buff, which is great. So there, technically, he has a 40% Berserker with confusion on everything. Same kit as Lille Barro, 3K beam, 960, and a beyond full screen. Now, I do put him higher over Lille because of IT. And in terms of epic grades and all that. So let's continue on. So, let's get into it. Perfect kit. They both had the same kit. Him and Lille, same kit. But Shinji has confusion, which is going to be very, very nice for IT. And on top of that, they basically have the same amount of Berserker. He has 20%, but since he has the Captain Strong Attack Damage buff 20%, they both have 40%. So 20 plus 20 equals 40. They both have 40%, but if I have to choose one that has stats elements versus one that doesn't, I'm gonna have to choose the one that has elements. It's just much better for when it comes to IT. Especially if you find Ultra IT, it is very, very good. In terms of GQ, you both want to use them 1 week. Shinji, Melee Soul Reaper week, which I'm going to be using him. And then Lille Barro, you want to use him in a range. So, my little marginal differences. Yes, Lille Barro has Guard Break, but Shinji has stats elements, and he does have the Captain Strong Attack Damage buff, which I value much more than just having Guard Break, right? And no stats elements. So overall, that's pretty much Shinji in a nutshell. Very, very quick because, like I said, you will see the same exact kick multiple times. Overall, though, good unit. Very, very good. I do think he deserves the 7th place. So, next it is going to be number 6. Number 6, it is going to be Bankai Hikone. Now, Hikone, beautiful. He aged very, very well. Weakening on everything. Now, the kid's a little bit different now. So, it's a 3K beam with a Tokinada pushback SA2, which is going to be a 750 pushback, and it is going to be a 1170. Very, very good SA3. With weakening on everything, he's going to hit like a truck. Now, Berserker, Bruiser, Havoc 20%, Debil 5 seconds, Devastation 40%, Disabler, which Disabler means they have a higher chance to proc weakening, or whatever stats element they do have. I do get questions about that. Disabler means they have a higher chance to proc their stats element, which is very, very good when it comes to IT specifically, because when you use them in IT, more than likely you're going to be using them versus their killer, and obviously you have a higher chance to proc, and you do more damage because they have iron skin. So, and he has Sprinter +2, so you can zoom around the map. So overall, weakening is so busted. It's much better than confusion, and on top of that, he does have Disabler, which I do value a lot when it comes to IT. Now, in terms of GQ, same thing, just like Shinji and everyone else. You could use him in 1 week of GQ. Not Shinji, Hikone, you could use him inside of range Soul Reaper week. And in terms of epic grades, he does have weakening, so he's going to be hitting much harder when you do weaken the boss in epic grades. So overall, very, very good unit. He has 2 flash steps, could zoom around the map. He has weakening on everything. He has Disabler, which is amazing for when it comes to IT. And then, yeah, he's pretty damn good. These units right here are very, very simple to really talk about, right? Because, like, they could use them in 1 week of GQ. But, honestly, when it comes to weakening versus everything else, weakening is so good in this game. is beautiful, right? We all love weakening. Now, let's continue on. That's pretty much Hikone in a nutshell. Phenomenal disabler. 3K beam, 1170. Token out a pushback. People won't like it, but when it comes to what they're trying to do with this unit, such as have disabler on him, the SA2 is absolutely perfect for units that have this, right? When you have disabler, this is the SA2 you want, in my opinion. I think it's better than the 960 when a unit has disabler. Overall, though, I think it's a fun unit. I do think he deserves the 6th place. So now, let's talk about the better version of Hikone. It is going to be the Christmas Toshiro. Toshiro has freeze and everything. The same exact kit as Hikone. 3K beam, 1170, and then the Tokinata pushback, which is going to be at 750. And then, like I said before, he does have freeze on everything. Now, let's look at it. 40% Berserker, beautiful. 20% Bruiser, 20% Havoc, Devastation 40%. The build 5 seconds, Frenzy +1, Technique Link Slot Potion skill, and then Splinter +1. I'm not going to be counting the Technique Link Slot Potion. I can't say the words, I don't know why. Not counting that because it's not fair, right? Because obviously, if they get that, there obviously could be more value, but we're not going to be looking at that, right? It's invalid to look at that. So, 40% Berserker with Disabler. Now his killer is a little bit mid. It's going to be no affiliation. But let's get into it. So, on top of that, and in terms of his innate skills, he has chance to inflict freeze every 5 seconds. So he has Freezer, which is phenomenal in IT. And then on top of that, he has damage to frozen enemies 20%. So, not only does he have a 40% Berserker with Disabler, when you take him into no affiliation IT and you proc freeze, he's going to be getting the extra 20% damage to frozen enemies, more than likely, more than half the times, because you have Disabler proccing. Now, you could easily take him into a quest when he doesn't have killer, because he still has 40% Berserker. 40% Berserker is the norm now, if you haven't noticed. 40% Berserker is going to be every single end of month. Mid-month is a little bit debatable, probably not. It's a hit or miss. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. It's a bit weird what they do. But in terms of end of month, every single unit has gotten 40% Berserker ever since the swimsuit, red suit, and Rukia banner. Keep that in mind. So, not only does he have 40% Berserker, like I said, that freezer skill is very, very good for IT. That is why I say you can literally take him in every single IT. It does not matter for his killer. Yes, it's preferred you want to use no affiliation versus the no affiliation IT because he has disabling. But with him having freezer, it is able to, it's a pulse-wide map freeze on enemies, which is amazing. It's actually really, really good. If you played with, who else has it? Shunsui has it as well. I don't know who else has it. Not many units have this skill, pulsating. Thousand Jabari Yamamoto has it as well, but he has burn. Shunsui has weakening. Overall, pulsating freeze is absolutely crazy because if you freeze them, they're not moving. They can't do anything. Literally, they can't do anything at all. So he's literally just a better Hikone. I value this Toshiro much better than Hikone because 20% with Berserker. He has the extra damage to frozen enemies. He has chance to inflict freezer every 12 seconds, I think. Let me look real quick. Yeah, he has chance to inflict freeze every 5 seconds, which is insane. That's absolutely insane when it comes to IT. In terms of GQ, just like everyone else behind him, he's been 1 week of GQ, which is going to be no affiliation. In terms of epic raids, though, he's going to be hitting like a truck. When you pop that soul bomb on this Toshiro, is going to be hitting just like how he has weakening. He doesn't have weakening, yes, but he's going to be hitting the same amount of numbers like if he did have weakening, which is insane. Overall, though, he's a fantastic unit. He's literally a Hikone, but in my opinion, I think he's better than Hikone because he has much more going for him, because that freezer scale is very, very good, especially since it is freeze. So overall, good unit. He's just a better Hikone with more damage. That's pretty much it. So next, let's get into the top 4. Now, next 4 is going to be marginal differences. I'll get into it. So, next is going to be Bankai Rukia. Tragic, right? We love her. I love her. Everybody loves Bankai Rukia. Captain Rukia. Not Bankai. Captain Rukia. I'm sorry it's late. I'm recording it late again. My sleep schedule's messed up. So, let's talk about it. So, Rukia has double killers. She has the Spada and a Ronkguard killer. She has Berserker 60% with freeze on everything. That is beautiful. She has Bruiser 20%. My goodness, I can't talk. The build 5 seconds. Devastation 40%. Frenzy +1. Havoc 20%. Sprinter +1. So, let's get into her. So, on top of her 60% Berserker, she has damage to frozen enemies 20%, which is very, very good because she has the transformation button, Bankai button pretty much, that allows her to get 10 seconds of Disabler. Does not matter what they are, literally doesn't matter. Because she has a Ronkguard Spider Killer, but she's fighting Slow Reapers, you go transform, you have Disabler for 10 seconds. So, an increased chance Spark Disabler too, which is very, very good. So, pair that with her damage to frozen enemies, more than likely she's going to be having the 80% Berserker most of the time. Depends, right? Because you are only getting 10 seconds for the increased Disabler chance. So overall, on top of that, she has recovered 20% stamina going into each room, which is very, very good. I have grown to love this skill a lot, actually. It's a very, very good skill when it comes to PvE as well. And it's very, very good, especially when it comes to IT. Now, in terms of GQ, let's get into it. So, you can use Rukia in 3 weeks of GQ. If you have to, you can use her in both weeks of Arrancar's, range and melee. Because she obviously, actually, never mind. I lied. She doesn't have, I forgot, she does not have Marauder. So that's the sad part. That is the sad part about it. She doesn't have Marauder, never mind, you can use her in 2 weeks of GQ, being the Arrancar melee, and you can use her in a spot. She's literally going to be the best Espada main. So, let's get into her innate skills. She also has freeze duration 100%, post-transformation 10-second disable, like we talked about, and then she has weakened duration. Now, her kit, let's get into it. So, she has a lunge, a 570 lunge. It's not the best. It's good. It's good, but a beam is better. And then she has a 960 SA2, and then she has a Beyond Full Screen SA3. Overall, she's a perfect unit, but I don't like how she did not get the same treatment as Daddy Ichigo. Yes, she did get the transformation button. Yes, she had to recover 20% stamina, but if she got Marauder, just like Daddy Ichigo, this Rukia would be the best power unit in the game, in my opinion, if she got Marauder. But since she didn't even get Guard Break, this is why she is 4th place. I love her. She's a fantastic unit. She's so good, but she could have been much higher if she got the same treatment as Ichigo. Sure, I understand. They love to get Ichigo more treatment than usual, everybody else, right? But come on, it was round 14. They could have given her more treatment, but overall, I think she's perfect. The only thing she's lacking is Guard Break, in my opinion. So, now let's talk about number 3. Now, number 3, compared all the way to number 1, this is where it's going to be a little bit marginal differences. I'm going to be talking about all of these 3 at once now, right? So, number 3 is going to be Kisuke. Now, obviously, we know Ichigo and Bruno are ahead, so let's get into it. So, Kisuke, very, very good. Paralyze, Lacerate on everything. Berserker 40%, Bruiser 20%, Debil 5 seconds. Devastation 40%, Frenzy +1, Guard Break, Havoc 20%, Recover 20% stamina, and Status Element Spirit Pressure boost by 80%. So let's talk about this Kisuke real quick. So, he has Guard Break. Great. Really, really good. He has a Sword Reaper Killer. So, 40% Berserker with a Spiritual Pressure boost of 80%. So, Kisuke's SA2 is going to be the 960 into a Homing Vortex, which is the best SA2 in the game. And then his SA1 is going to be 18% mag. And then his SA3 is just going to be a Beyond Full Screen. Now, why I do rank this Kisuke 3rd is because he did not get Sharpshooter. Let's get into it. He does not have double killers, and he did not get Sharpshooter. So you can only use him in 1 week of GQ, which is going to be range, which is great. So in terms of GQ, you can use him in 1 week. Okay. But in terms of IT, I think Kisuke is the best option for IT. 100% Kisuke is the best / safer option in IT. He has all status immunity. He recovers 20% stamina. He has the Homing Vortex SA2, the 960 into Homing Vortex. And then on top of that, he has Paralyze and Lacerate on everything. So he's absolutely made for IT. It's beautiful. And I forgot to mention, right? He does have the all status immunity, which I was just talking about. That all status immunity, if you play with Artbook Ichigo, it is such a good skill when it comes to IT. Because in IT now, there's so much floor, like burn, paralyze, poison. You can literally dodge all that with Kisuke because he does not get affected, which is amazing. So in terms of IT, I do think he's better than Ichigo, and I do think he's better than Bruno. He's just much safer, and he has a lot of damage. Because if he's able to proc, Lacerate, or Paralyze once, he gets 80% Spiritual Pressure boost, which increases his damage as close as to 6th Anniversary Aizen. Aizen does more, but Kisuke is slightly under. We have the numbers for it already. Just keep that in mind. But in terms of GQ, Kisuke, you can only use him for 1 week, and he is not that great compared to Bruno and Ichigo when it comes to GQ. And then in terms of epic raids, it's going to be the exact same thing. I do think Bruno and Ichigo are much, much better in epic raids compared to this Kisuke, because they have more going for them. So overall though, that is Kisuke in a nutshell. He's a fantastic unit. I think he's perfect. The only thing he does not have is sharpshooter, but that's really about it. Don't really need it nowadays, to be honest. But in terms of IT, I think he's the best option in slot, 100%. Most safe, and literally the best SA2 in the game. Literally, if you take 4 Kisuke into IT, that's it. It's pretty easy. You could probably auto, to be honest. So next, let's talk about number 2. Number 2, it is going to be Ichigo. 5th anniversary Ichigo. No surprise here. Double killer. He has Hollow and a Rancor killer. Weakening on everything. 60% Berserker with weakening on everything. Ooh, beautiful. 20% Bruiser. The build 5 seconds. Devastation 40%. Frenzy +1. Havoc 20%. Marauder and Sprinter +2. He does not have any innate skills because he came out before his time, right? So now let's look at his kit. He has a 570 lunge, a 960 SA2, a charge attack SA3, a 840 to 1080. It's basically a soul pump inside a SA3 because it literally doubles the damage when you hold it for its full charge. So overall, let's get into GQ, IT, and epic rates. So GQ, you can use this Ichigo for 4 weeks. Absolutely insane. And he has weakening on everything, which is even better. In terms of IT, now, I do not like his lunge. I don't like lunges at all. In terms of Bruno and Kisuke, I would say this Ichigo is probably 3rd. But if you are host, I would say Ichigo probably goes up 2 seconds. When you have Ichigo as a host, I think he's absolutely insane. I think he's very, very crazy when he is a host. If you play with Ichigo as a host, your SA3 can go through multiple waves. But if you are not host, keep in mind that SA3 is not going to be going into multiple ways. So moving forward, if you want to use Ichigo, just keep that in mind that if you're host, the SA3 is very, very good. If you're not host, the SA3 can not be that great in my opinion because it doesn't hit multiple waves, which sucks. I wish Caleb could copy the JP server because on JP, it literally bleeds through. There's absolutely no lag on the JP server in terms of co-op, but for some reason, Global has all the lag. I don't know why. That's just how Caleb it is. So, and now let's talk about lastly, epic raids. Epic raids. Ichigo has the SA3 with weakening on everything, and that's literally gonna put him ahead of Kisuke. That's just how things are, right? Weakening, and then he has the SA3 that literally, it's like a soul bomb in itself. It's absolutely crazy. So overall, though, that is why he is above Kisuke. Yes, in IT, I say Kisuke is still the best because of everything he does have. While Ichigo's a little bit more risky just because of the lunge SA1. Other than that, though, Ichigo's perfect. He's a very, very good unit. Be happy if you pull him because I think he's perfect. Besides the SA1, in my opinion, it's whatever. Right? It's really whatever. But in terms of content, GQ, you could use him in 4 weeks, which is insane. In terms of IT, risky, but it pays off. And then in terms of epic raids, you can hit like a truck, literally. So now let's talk about number 1. It is going to be Bruno. So now Bruno has weakening on everything. 40% Berserker, less Berserker than Ichigo. Double Killer, Soul Reaper, and a Rancor. Very, very good killers. Bombardment, 20% Bruiser, debuff 5 seconds. Frenzy +1, Havoc 20%, hidden enemies chance 100%. Poise and Sharp Shooter. So let's talk about Bruno now. In terms of IT, Bruno is going to be amazing. He really is. He has the range on his SA1, which it being a 40% mag, people may not like it, but it's actually a very, very good SA1 when it comes to IT. He has a 960 SA2, and then he has a 1200 full screen SA3. Overall, perfect kit. I actually like this kit a lot. I prefer the 40% over a lunge. I even prefer the 60 over a lunge, but like. So let's get into it. So he also has innate skills, which is going to be Sprinter +2. Beautiful. Last Ditch Survival, 100%. Very, very good for IT as well. And then he has Dodge, Soul Reaper damage, even better for IT. So, I do think he's much better than Ichigo in IT, but I do not think he's better than Kisuke in IT, just because Kisuke has everything, all that crazy stuff he has for him. But Bruno is second. He has the Last Ditch, he has the Dodge Soul Reaper damage, only if it's obviously Soul Reaper IT, right? So, and we rarely ever get it, sadly. So now let's talk about GQ. You can use his Bruno in 4 weeks of GQ. If you bomb, you know how it is, right? Then he's the best options for when it comes to Ranger Rancor, because for some reason, Caleb does not like to release Ranger Rancors. They really don't. We have to literally use Blue Rukia before this Bruno came out. It's not fun. Trust me, it's not fun at all. And in terms of epic grades, he has Bombardment with Weakening. That's too crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So in terms of epic grades, I think he's the best. Out of the 3, he's definitely the best at epic grades. In terms of GQ, him and Ichigo are tied pretty much because It depends really, because whoever you're using to farm those days, not farm those days, farm those weeks in GQ, it does depend, right? Because Ichigo and Bruno both have a wrong guard killers. It just comes down to you, right? But overall, though, I do think Bruno is better than the other two just because of the IT. Not IT. IT is like the only thing, like I said before, right? And IT, Kisuke is the best one. But he's the second place. In terms of GQ, Bruno's first. In terms of epic grades, Bruno's first. So, it's 1-1-2. Compared to Ichigo's, what? You can say 1 in GQ as well, right? 1, and then in terms of IT, I put him as 3. And epic grades, I put him as 2. And then if you look at Kisuke, Kisuke first in IT, and then he's going to be third inside epic grades and in terms of GQ. That's just how things are. So overall, very, very marginal differences. They are all interchangeable because they are all very, very good. Like I said, in terms of IT, I don't blame you. Kisuke is literally the best option. But in terms of GQ and epic grades, Bruno and Ichigo are much better. Trust me, these are very, very marginal differences, but doesn't really matter. It really comes down to what you like to play at. So overall, though, that's pretty much my tier list in a nutshell. Hope you have a good day. If any questions, let me know down below. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, right? But like I said, disclaimer, all my tier lists are based off of IT, GQ, and epic grades. There's no reason to be comparing them in PvE or IZ because PvE and IZ are very, very easy to beat. Almost every single unit nowadays can easily beat it. I'm easily using the Tech Tenta from God knows how many years ago to farm the point event right now. Trust me, it's not worth looking at that. I'm just looking at the 3 main game modes. So other than that though, thank you guys for watching the video. We have a good day, and I'll see you guys later on. Peace out.